There are things that need to be done, but there are others that they better get done. I call them the must list. We have that at home with our kids or just within ourselves. There are certain things that you can take your time and get them done. They are needed, and others that it's a must. Shouldn't ignore it, should not delay it, should get to it and get it done. Now, what is the difference between those two? Need describes a necessity, something that just it's needed, you're accountable for it, and I hope you will do it. But when it's a must, it sounds like an obligation. You specifically are accountable for that. That thing, whatever needs to be done, it's a must because it depends especially on you. And even its consequences will come and chase you. But how do we discern between these two, need or must? I find it when we examine our priorities. When your needs get out of control, you will start ignoring or neglecting your must. Things that must be done, must get accomplished. You can easily get caught up into so many needs that you've brought them upon yourself that there is no time to put attention and work on what must be done. There are two sisters in the Bible, Martha and Mary, and you probably already know what I'm going to tell you, but it was a lesson for myself just to step back from my everyday needs and things that needed to be done, and just to make sure that every day I give enough time to what must be done. And this became a lesson for me. Let me read it for you. It's in the Gospel of Luke chapter 10, verses 38 to 42. It says, as Jesus and his disciples were on their way, he came to a village where a woman named Martha opened her home to him. She had a sister called Mary, who sat at the Lord's feet listening to what he said. But Martha was distracted by all the preparations that had to be made. So she came to him and asked Jesus, Lord, don't you care that my sister has left me to do all the work by myself? Tell her to help me. Jesus says, Martha, Martha, you are worried and upset about many things, but few things are needed, or indeed only one. And Mary has chosen what is better, and it will not be taken away from her. Let's unpack this. Let's learn from it. First thing, Jesus says, Martha, you are distracted. You are distracted by the things that needed to be done. Yes, some of them are good and they are needs, but when your needs are many, when they're out of control, they will distract you from what matters most. Second says, Martha comes and says, Lord, don't you care? Do you hear the frustration in her voice? Hey, we do the same. When our needs are out of control, when we are so perfectionist in the secondary things, we become frustrated with the people whom we're trying to serve. Many needs out of control can create frustration in us. Says Jesus, you are worried and upset about many things. That many is very important because things need to be done and we will do them. But when those things become many, we lose control. We are distracted. We lose our priorities. We give into it when there are many. We must be careful. Jesus says, Martha, examine your priorities. Few things are needed. Indeed, one has become the must. So let me ask you a question. Many things need to be done, But if every day you don't have your must to-do list, you will get lost in the many things. Examine your priorities, write them down and say, you know what? These things, my time with the Lord, my time in checking on those around me, those are must to be done every day, and you cannot ignore them because the other things are so many. Put that priority also in your spiritual life. Make sure you set a time for what must be done to care for your spiritual life. You must pray. You must spend time with the Lord and let no other many needs take over that time. Do that, and you will see when God becomes in my must-to-do list thing for the day, you're going to see how your needs are easily supplied because God will help you. Do that and be blessed. Have a blessed day.